Proof Genesis took them bags.
Shalom. All praises, honor, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh Bahasham Raka Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. Now, this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Bahasham Raka Kwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And the title of this video will be "You cannot serve both the Most High, Yahweh, Sham Yahweh, and Mammon, or Slakia, or maybe leaving the truth for a bag full of holes." And this is the Apostle Tahar's video going into more proof that Genesis took them bags. And of course, this is all just based on the doctrine that Genesis camp, right, which is Hassad and Hakah, they were pushing about how the Gentiles can be saved. And amen, that is obviously a false doctrine they were going off, and them doing that was just the evidence that you need to know that they have ultimately sold out, which is why I'm doing this video right here, because it's a damn shame to see, man, especially when you recognize and you understand, right, the times that we're in and the prophecies, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which Genesis, Hakah, and Hassad claim to do. So why would you, right, sell out this truth, okay, for a bag in this kingdom, in the times that we're in? You're not even going to enjoy that bag, man. So it just shows the foolishness of selling out when you're in these truths. Let me get a quick precept. But that's all we're going to be seeing. That's what I'm going to be doing in this video, by the way, getting quick precepts. Matthew 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon, right? And if you go into the definition of the word mammon, because the scriptures has lots of words to refer to wealth, right, especially riches that are deceitful or gotten wickedly. Okay, so the word is mammon. All right, mammon. I'm trying to see where is the, okay, here it is. Mammon, the desire for wealth, personified as an evil spirit or a malign influence. Often mammon, wealth, material, avarice, profits. So I'm kind of interested in going into the etymology of the word mammon now, because that's basically showing you that, hey, even this spirit of greed, right, this paper chasing, bag chasing spirit that you see in the world right now, that's a demon right there, right? The love of money demon, basically. And we already know what the scripture says concerning the love of money. And let's also use this opportunity to clear a misconception. The scriptures and the Bible has never said that money is the root of all evil, okay? Because that's a common thing you hear in the world, or they'll say, oh, money is the root of all evil, money is the root of all evil, but that's not what the scriptures say. And let's go to that, okay, and get the full precept in the full context, because where else would you get if the full scriptures or the full Bible in its full context other than from the men of the Lord, right? Starting, of course, with the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone on down. 1 Timothy 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Not money is the root of all evil, but the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? So even you sell out, you also are guilty, right, of this evil right here, okay? Where your love, where the love or your love for money, your love for the worldly pleasures, right, your love for benefits and resources in this world, because that's ultimately what money is, right? A gateway to the pleasures of this life, right, to the pride of life, the fashions of this world. That's why you see that our people, especially, right, are so focused on chasing the bag, right, chasing the bag, trying to get a bag, trying to get as much money as possible to heap onto themselves treasures, right, as the scriptures say. But that's mainly applying to Esau, Edom. But that's what everybody is trying to do right now, right? join the rat race. That's basically what they call it, right? Join the rat race. Okay. Now now it's funny because if Assad and Hakar truly were in this truth, which is why the scriptures say that though they were with us, they were not a part of us, as it is written. Let me quickly get that precept. So let's go to that. Let's go to that. That should be First John chapter 2. Okay. So this is the book of First John 2 verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have no doubt continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Right. And this whole idea of pushing this doctrine of the Gentiles can be saved. And I even mentioned this before, that these dudes were going up to the point that you have Vocab Malone co-signing them, right? And as an Hebrew Israelite, man, once you see Vocab Malone co-signing you, that should be your first sign they are going off, man. There's something wrong. You have to, regroup, right? Bring it back in and figure out whether you are actually going down the right path. And it should have been abundantly clear to both Hakar and Assad that they were going down the wrong path when he saw the elders and the apostles of the great millstone on down get on you for this foolishness, okay, this wickedness, or this wicked doctrine that you guys are pushing out here, talking about some of the Gentiles can be saved, right? And it's just another part of the and not just that, like I said, the apostle Taha was saying in the video, right? Just the same way the God sent comforter, right? I've forgotten what his name was. I've forgotten the camp that he was dealing with as well, or he was leader of. Just like him, right? Hakar and Assad have sold out in the same way as well, and it's crazy, right? Selling out for a bag full of holes, which is basically what it means to sell out, to be a sellout in this kingdom, especially when you had the truth, or when you are in the truth, or when you had some understanding of the truth, which is the case for Hakar and Assad, right? How ridiculous is it to sell out? That's crazy, man. Having the truth and ultimately selling out, that just shows you that they ultimately never really believed, right, in the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And the reason why we know, okay, that the Genesis dudes sold out was because even prior to leaving the Sicarii and forming this Genesis, because both Hakar and Assad were a part of the Sicarii, right, before forming the Genesis, they were selling breakdowns, they were selling counseling, they had created their different platforms for receiving donations, which of course, hey, there's nothing wrong with actually having platforms for donations or tithes, right? But what they did was that in every video you usually see the Cash App, right, the PayPal and so on and so forth in the video, okay? They were, and that's based, and they were, and let's not forget and let's not forget about when the Sicarii was selling counseling, right? I think they were even charging for giving Hebrew Israelite names to Jakes, right? And that shows you that what they were focused on, right? As the scriptures say, that some men preach the gospel. Let me see if I can find that precept. I think it goes, some men preach for filthy lucre or something like that. Okay, so like, yeah, that's not what it says. Like, yeah, but we'll still get it anyway. Philippians 1 verse 15. Some indeed preach a Mashiach even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preach a Mashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the author of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Right, but this that's also what I was going into, but you still have the same idea where their preaching of the gospel or their preaching of the truth is sowing strife in the truth, right? Sowing confusion in the truth, because now you are seeing Jake that are seeing these dudes, and the most insidious part is them calling upon the name of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and then continuing to say the Gentiles can be saved, which is a very, very off very, very false doctrine. Okay, but going back to the main topic of this video, and let's get that precept, a bag full of holes, basically the inspiration for this video. So this is the book of Haggai 1 verse 5. Now therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways, which is something that you always have to be doing in this truth, right? Measure the time diligently, right? Look and have some self-reflection, have some self-awareness. Okay, self-awareness goes a long way in this truth. Basically, you are able to reflect on your actions and reflect on yourself. Okay, that's why you see the elders and the apostles of the great millstone always preach discipline, always preach to have a stoic mindset. And that doesn't mean that, oh, you're just like a tree, just stuck up and completely emotionless. No, it means that you are in control of your emotions, right? And that's what it means to be self-aware and you also have self-control as well. You know your weaknesses, right? You know what affects you, or you know where your basically your weaknesses and your strengths, and you are able to have this self-control, okay, to have the discipline, right, to control those weaknesses and those strengths, those emotions that you have within you, right? So right, and this is all going, of course, into being circumspect. And what the word circumspect means is to look around, and it's not just looking outwardly, but also looking internally as well, right? Knowing yourself and knowing the things that you are dealing with, right? Knowing where you are weak in this truth, what you need to improve in this truth, right? Because we all have, those situations like that, right? Where we have the weaknesses that we have in the truth and that we need to get better in. Okay, we consider your ways. So Haggai 1 verse 8. Okay, hold on. Did I go and get the wrong precept? Slakia. Okay. Haggai 1 verse 6. Ye have sown much and brought in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages earneth it to put into a bag with holes. Right. And basically this is, of course, going into our people and how your search for wealth, right, your search for resources and for the bag, right, your people bag chasing ways in this kingdom has ultimately profited you nothing, right? Back when the Red Pillar and Manosphere and Andrew Tate was popular, everybody was in that hustler mindset, hustler grind set, right? And you had a lot of people that they managed to gain wealth for themselves in this kingdom through that. But you had far more people that could really not improve from their position, right? And with the way that Esau is moving in these last days, right, more and more showing you why he is the devil, which the Bible speaks of, you are going to find it more and more difficult to actually increase in your wealth in this kingdom, especially when you have, and let's go to the book of is it James? I think it's James. So this is the book of James 5 verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. And basically what you have is that the wicked elites of Esau Edom have become more and more greedy, right? That's why you see these statistics of how the wealth of the world is being controlled by 1% of the population. And who do you think that 1% of the population is? The wicked elites of Esau Edom. You have families that are worth trillions of dollars, hundreds of trillions of dollars, far more than what even the richest man currently on Forbes is worth, right? Like, for example, Elon Musk, he recently signed a deal with his board of directors that if he fulfilled some targets that they had set up for him, basically they would turn him into the world's first trillionaire, right? Or quote unquote trillionaire. Basically, the world's first overt trillionaire, because you already know that there are families that have far more wealth than what Elon Musk is showing the world, right? So that's basically it. And Esau is continuing to steal more and more of the wealth away from the rest of you people that are in the world. So James 5 verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And that's exactly why you see these devils hoarding treasure, right? All the gold that exists in this world, all the gold that is locked up in there, is it Fort Knox on Jekyll Island, right? All the gold that is being extracted from the Sudan, where is it all going to? All the gold reserves that Europe gave to Babylon the Great during World War III. Where is all this wealth, right? Where are all these riches being, hiding right now? And it's of course in the possession of the 1%, the elites of Esau Edom. So that's what you see happening, right? Where you have the elites of Esau Edom basically increasing in their greed and taking more and more of the wealth for themselves, while leaving you people that are in the world with less and less of it. Okay. James 5 verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your field, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And this is of course speaking of the Hebrew Israelites, okay, that have basically been working and toiling and enslaving quite literally in this kingdom. And the cries of our people, right? The cries of the men of the Lord have entered, have the Most High, how about Sham Yahushai, has heard our cries and is beginning to visit Esau Edom, the wicked of Esau Edom. And he will of course visit the elites of Esau Edom, but the Most High is saving the best for last, man, because when we catch these devils, man, let's go back, okay? And yeah, basically, you are working, right? You're sold out for nothing, because not only are you going to get, basically what amounts to monopoly money right now, right? But you also threw away this truth, which has far greater treasures, right? Far greater worth for Esau's paper currency, some FRN notes, some fiat that these devils are still going to replace anyway. These are the same dudes that also know that the MOTB, right, is the RFID implantable microchip, and they know Esau is getting ready to set it up, and they still come out, right, in these last days pushing this nonsense, right? They are still focused on trying to enrich themselves in this kingdom, right, rather than, as the scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, Yahweh Sham Yahushai, and all its righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you, right? With righteousness, of course. This doesn't mean that, or this isn't or this isn't me saying that, oh, you have to quit your job, stop doing everything you're doing, stop trying to make money in this kingdom, stop trying to, stop trying to take care of yourself in this kingdom, quit your job, quit everything you're doing, and just focus on this truth, right? And of course, nobody actually, but some jakes are really ridiculous, man. Where they need to basically be handheld to make sure that they don't go and do something stupid out here in the world, right? But this does not mean that, oh, you have to stop focusing on, right, basically taking care of your basic needs in this kingdom. But what it means is godliness with contentment is great gain, right? What it means is that you should not be seeking after wealth, right? But let's just go and get that precept. You should be seeking after bread that is enough for thee. So let's get that. So this is the book of Proverbs 30, and I'll start from let's see. Proverbs 30 verse 7. Two things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. Right, so what we teach in this truth, once again, godliness, with contentment is great gain, right? Do not be focused on the things of this world more than this truth. Do not be ensnared, do not be trapped, do not be basically, I don't know what other term to use, but yeah, just that, by this wicked ass kingdom, right? That you're completely abandon the truth. You should already know what it is, right? And the reality of this kingdom. After all, it's not written that the fashions of this world passeth away. So you should already know that anything that you see that is in this kingdom right now is going to be destroyed, right? For all the things that are in the world, let's go and get that precept real quick. All these things are going to be destroyed. So what's the point of selling out, right? What's the point of trading in eternal life, right? Trading in the kingdom for a bag full of holes. 1 John 2 verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, abideth forever. And it's obviously these Genesis jigs, right? These Genesis dudes clearly don't believe in that. They don't believe in abiding or doing the will of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or abiding in the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai forever. If you did, you would not push such a doctrine as all people can be saved, right? But yeah, man, it just goes to show that you have so many agents and so many obvious sellouts within this truth. Okay, so with that, once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Kwadash Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit of Yakim and Juakwat were edified. Shalom.